All right, we're in chapter 3 on inequalities in one variable. So this is section 3.3 on absolute value inequalities. So if an inequality contains an absolute value, what we need to do is rewrite that inequality without the absolute value first. Now there are two cases with absolute value. No, there are similar cases with the less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. Here we just show it with the less than or greater than, but it works the same way when we have that equal to. So if we have the absolute value of x is less than a, then what we do is we rewrite that as we drop the absolute value and just put x, and then we're going to be less than a or greater than the opposite of a. Okay, so we basically have a negative a on one side and a positive a on the other, and that's how we make it work. Now, if the absolute value of a is greater than a, though, what we end up with was two different inequalities. We have one where x is less than a negative a, then we have or, now remember, this is tripartite, so it's an and. Now we have or x is greater than a. So we have kind of this split like this, okay? So let's put this into practice. And what we have here is we have the absolute value of 2x is less than 6. So it's less than. So what's that mean? That we're going to break it apart and it's going to look like this. So we're going to have a negative 6 less than 2x less than a positive 6. Okay. Now this is tripartite. So what we do in one, we have to do in all. So negative 3 less than x less than 3. And again, go ahead and we'll draw it just to make sure we get the right one. So x is going to be greater than 3, open circle. X is going to be less than a positive 3, open circle. Now it's the intersection, so it's going to be what's in between. And so it's going to go from negative 3 to positive 3, parentheses on both because we have the open circles. Okay. So that would be our solving it. We graphed it and then we wrote it in interval notation. All right, what about this one? Well, here what we have to do is we have to isolate the absolute value first. So we need to subtract 3 from both sides to start with. So when we do that, we have a negative 2 times absolute value of x minus 5 less than or equal to, and that's going to be a negative 18. Now we need to divide by that negative 2. Ding, 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 ding. We need to change the sign. And so now we have the absolute value of x minus 5. Now we switch that. It's going to be greater than or equal to, and 18 divided by 2 is 9, and it's going to be positive. All right, so now this one's greater than. So remember, with greater than, we're going to have one of them less than the opposite, and the other one greater than the regular. So what we're going to say is one of them, the x minus 5, and that's going to be less than or equal to, because we use less than or equal to or less than, however it works. And so it's going to be less than or equal to a negative 9, or we're going to have x minus 5 is going to be greater than a positive 9. Okay, so again, we can just think about this as x is greater than or equal to 9. And so then we just say, okay, x is greater than or equal to 9. So then x is going to be less than or equal to a negative 9, or x is going to be greater than or equal to a positive 9. Oops, we forgot the greater than or equal to. Okay, so now what do? Well, we add 5 to both sides. So we get x is less than or equal to, and that looks like a minus 14. Or, now we add 5 to both sides. X is going to be greater than or equal to a positive 14. All right, so now we graph. So we have negative 14, and we have a positive 14. So x is less than or equal to that. All right, or greater than or equal to this one. So if we write that in interval notation, we're going from negative infinity to negative 14 with a bracket union bracket 14 comma positive infinity. Okay, now this is the or, so we have to include this one or both, and that's what we've done. We did both of them. All right, what about the next one? Well, we're going to subtract 3. Subtract 3. So absolute value of 2 minus x is less than, and it's going to be a negative 2. All right, so at this point here, we can be really clever and say, hey, how is absolute value going to be less than a -2, because if we think about that, here's 0, here's -2, and it's going to be somewhere down here, maybe -5 or something like that. Well, absolute values are always going to be positive. So because this has to be positive, it can't be less than -2. And so this one is the empty set or no solution. Okay. Now, what if we didn't notice that? Okay, well, let's see what happens then. That's a less than. And so with less than, we are going to get, this is going to be a 4, and then it's going to be less than, and then it's going to be a 2 minus x, and that's going to be a less than, and then it's going to be a negative, oops, where did I get a 4 at? I don't know. All right, so this is going to be 2, and this is going to be a -2. Okay. All right, so when we do that, now we have to say, okay, well, let's subtract 2 everywhere. So that's going to be 0, less than or equal to a negative x, less than, and was that one equal to? No, it's just less than, not equal to there. And that's going to be a -4. Now we have to divide by a -1, ding, 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 ding. And so divide by -1, divide by -1. And so this is 0 is going to be greater than, x is going to be greater than a 4. So if we write that, so we'll have 4, we'll have our 0. So x is less than 0, and x is greater than 4. Well, those have to intersect, and guess what? They don't intersect, and hence we're back to our no solution. Okay, so if we didn't notice that, we could go ahead and work it down, and we still get the same answer. But this way, we like, oh, hey, this can't happen, and so we get no solution, and we finished the problem just a little bit earlier. Otherwise, we had to do a little bit more work. All right, so let's pause there, and we'll come back for more.